There's a certain appeal to quick fixes. A candle to melt away earwax. A flashy belt to zap belly fat. A colorful pad to whisk toxins from your skin. We're all guilty of scrolling past 10 miraculous health hacks and thinking, maybe this time it'll actually work. Yet time and again we discover that many of these shortcuts are either harmless spectacles or downright dangerous. Here we unravel 10 of the most popular remedies and explain why you might want to spend your money on literally anything else. Imagine lighting a hollow candle, snuggling into a towel turban, and waiting for waxy vacuum action to pull ear debris straight out. Proponents of ear candling claim that as the candle burns, it generates negative pressure that draws wax and impurities out of the ear canal. In reality, however, there is no airtight seal between candle and ear, so no meaningful suction ever occurs. Instead, melted candle wax often drips into the ear, compounding the very blockage you're trying to remove. What's more, the open flame poses a serious burn hazard to the face, scalp, and ear, especially when the candling ritual involves laying down and wrapping a towel around your head. Clinical studies paint an even starker picture. A small randomized trial published in The Laryngoscope evaluated participants before and after ear candling and found zero reduction in earwax. In fact, even the audiologist conducting the procedure could see that no wax was actually being removed from the ear canal. At the same time, several study subjects sustained soot deposits in the ear canal, minor burns to the outer ear, and even small tympanic membrane perforations. Those are not isolated incidents. Case reports in ENT journals have documented patients suffering from ear canal inflammation, infection, and lasting hearing damage directly attributable to candling mishaps. Beyond the immediate risk of physical injury, ear candling offers no therapeutic benefit. Your ears are self-cleaning. Tiny hairs and the natural migration of skin cells work together to ferry wax out of the canal over time. If you're experiencing excess buildup or discomfort, safe and effective methods are readily available: softening drops, gentle irrigation by a professional, or manual removal under microscopic guidance. Those approaches not only clear wax more reliably, but also protect the delicate structures of your inner ear. In short, ear candling is an alluring spectacle, but it's a recipe for needless expense, possible injury, and a wasted trip to the doctor. Next comes the notorious gallbladder flush, which promises to purge stones after a mighty gulp of olive oil chased by beetroot capsules. Enthusiasts often share videos of themselves downing 12 ounces, or more, of extra virgin olive oil, then popping concentrated beetroot tablets in rapid succession. They'll wrap themselves in blankets or lie on their right side, convinced that gravity and bile flow will funnel real cholesterol stones into their intestines. Social media testimonials show greenish globules in the toilet the next morning, and believers herald them as proof of a cleansed gallbladder. In reality, those floating stones are nothing more than congealed oil and beet juice. True gallstones are composed primarily of hardened cholesterol or bilirubin, and because they're denser than water, they sink when dropped into a glass. Laboratory analyses of flush-extracted blobs have confirmed they contain no bile pigments or crystalline cholesterol. Meanwhile, swallowing that volume of oil on an empty stomach can overwhelm your digestive system, triggering severe nausea and vomiting, and in some cases, gallbladder spasms or acute pancreatitis that require emergency care. A far safer and more effective approach is to support your bile flow gradually through diet and lifestyle. Eating a balanced mix of high-fiber vegetables, whole grains, and moderate healthy fats helps your liver produce and your gallbladder expel bile smoothly throughout the day. Staying hydrated and incorporating regular gentle physical activity, like walking after meals, can also prevent sludge buildup that sometimes precedes stone formation. If you're concerned about gallstones or biliary colic, speak with a healthcare professional about ultrasound imaging, bile acid supplements, or medical treatments that actually dissolve or remove stones without the risks of a homemade flush. Then there's the Master Cleanse, a liquid regimen of lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup that's supposed to detox your liver in a 3-day sugar carnival. You start your morning with a bright glass of lemonade, sweetened with copious maple syrup, and spiked with a dash of cayenne. Throughout the day, solid foods vanish from your plate, replaced by repeated refills of this sugary potion. Marketing materials promise that this concoction will flush toxins, banish bloating, and ignite fat burning. all while you float through your daily routine on a river of citrus-spiced syrup. In practice, however, the Master Cleanse is little more than a high-sugar fast, with no real nutritional value. Drinking up to a gallon of this mixture daily keeps your blood sugar roller coastering, spiking right after each glass, then crashing as insulin clears the sugar. Because you're not consuming any protein or healthy fats, your body can't enter ketosis, the state in which stored fat is burned for energy. Instead, it catabolizes muscle tissue to meet your caloric needs. By day 3, any scale victory you see is almost entirely water loss and lean tissue breakdown, not long-term fat reduction. A sustainable science-backed detox relies on nutrient density, not deprivation. Instead of starving yourself on sugar water, you'll do yourself a lasting favor by eating a variety of fruits, vegetables and proteins that supply the enzymes and antioxidants your liver needs. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, deliver sulforaphane and glutathione precursors to support phase 2 detoxification pathways. Leafy greens provide chlorophyll, which helps bind environmental toxins, while lean proteins ensure your cells can repair and regenerate. Paired with plenty of water and regular movement, this real food approach empowers your liver to handle everyday exposures without leaving you hangry, weak, or in metabolic limbo. Not content with internal gimmicks, some companies sell foot detox pads that turn jet black overnight and claim to pull poisons out through the soles of your feet. The reality is far simpler. These pads are packed with iron powder and other chemicals that rust and darken when they get damp from sweat. You could dunk one in a puddle and see the exact same color change. Nothing in your body is being sucked out. Your skin isn't a filter for heavy metals or toxins, so smearing herbs on your heels won't make a difference. If you truly want to support your body's natural cleanup crew, stick to drinking plenty of water and eating a balanced diet. Your kidneys and liver already do the heavy lifting. If foot pads sound too mild, the ionic foot bath turns up the drama with salt water and electrodes. The water quickly turns brown or orange, and some spas point to the sludge as proof that toxins have left your body. In truth, the discoloration comes from tiny amounts of metal and salt corroding off the electrodes. Nothing you excreted is in that tub. Real detoxification happens inside your organs, not in a water basin. So skip the spa session, and again, focus on hydration and nutrient-rich meals to help your body keep itself clean. When it comes to trimming your waistline, 2 more gadgets make big promises: neoprene sweat belts and electrical muscle stimulation, EMS belts. The sweat belt simply traps heat against your skin, causing you to sweat out water weight that will return as soon as you rehydrate. EMS belts send small electrical pulses to twitch your abs, but without the calorie burn of real cardio or strength training, those twitches won't melt away visceral fat. And carb-blocking pills, basically white bean extracts, only inhibit a tiny fraction, around 2 to 4% of starch digestion. Any undigested starch just moves on to your gut bacteria, which can mean extra gas and bloating. The bottom line: portion control, whole grains, balanced meals, and consistent exercise remain your best bets for losing belly fat. If you thought personalizing your plate by blood type was the next frontier, the blood type diet will bring you back to earth. The premise is that type O's thrive on meat, A's on plants, B's on dairy, and so on. Yet a 2013 systematic review found no credible evidence linking blood type diets to better health outcomes. Any benefits dieters experience almost certainly stem from cutting out ultra-processed foods and focusing on whole, unrefined products. Instead of cataloging organ donor instructions, it's wiser to listen to hunger cues, choose nutrient-dense foods, and maintain a balanced macronutrient profile. At the opposite end of the spectrum lie EMF-blocking stickers and pendants promising to absorb or neutralize radiation from your smartphone or Wi-Fi router. The regulatory term, cellular specific absorption rate, SAR, measures how much radiofrequency energy your body absorbs. Independent lab tests repeatedly show that those little stickers have no measurable effect on SAR. If you're concerned, airplane mode or a wired headset will do more than an adhesive novelty ever could. The vast majority of experts agree that everyday EMF exposure from consumer electronics falls far below levels deemed harmful. Finally, psychiatric medications and electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, stand in a controversial category. Antidepressants, antipsychotics, and mood stabilizers together generate tens of billions in revenue each year. Yet the chemical imbalance theory of depression has been called into question. Meta-analyses indicate that for mild to moderate cases, many medications produce only a small advantage over placebo, and side effects can include emotional blunting, weight gain, and sexual dysfunction. Even more polarizing is ECT, which can deliver a rapid lift in severe depression, but carries risks of memory loss and confusion, and its long-term benefits remain debated. Whether pills or jolts, these interventions should be guided by careful evaluation, informed consent, and complementary approaches such as psychotherapy, lifestyle changes, and social support. None of these 10 hacks offer sustainable health gains. Some are theatrics, others are half-truths, and a few have the potential to harm. True wellness usually involves consistent habits, balanced nutrition, regular movement, adequate sleep, and stress management. That doesn't make for clickbait headlines, but it does make for lifelong resilience and vitality. Still think detox pads or lemonade cleanses hold the secret to perfect health? Think again. The real magic lies in science-backed habits, hydration, nutrition, and movement, not gimmicks that promise the world and deliver a rash. If this deep dive helped clear the air, pass it on to a friend who might be one TikTok away from buying snake oil. Want more no-nonsense wellness insights delivered with a wink? Subscribe to our weekly email for smart tips that actually work. Got a detox disaster story or myth we should bust next? Drop it in the comments. We're all ears. Wax free, of course.